I'll see.
So this round is just a half buy in which I decided to go for Marshall, and I'm basically going to be looking for some long range picks right here towards B, and hopefully the enemy team will make the mistake of overextending and actually taking the fight instead of jiggle peeking. So you can see me here extending the angle to actually look for where the enemy is holding from. And at the beginning I had no luck, but then my Fade actually started prowling and everything, so I spotted Jet. I was able to get this beautiful kill. And I know there is one more player here, and I assumed the closest player is in mid lane, which was my mistake, but he was actually backside and I was able to hit a beautiful no-scope right here. And at this point I just have to not throw this round, so I decided to nade to actually be able to pick up the weapon and take an advantageous position in CT. But we still didn't know where Killjoy is, and now this is where she got a kill, so I knew that I didn't have to worry about CT. So now it's simply me positioning myself towards mid lane to hold some sort of an off angle. It's not a perfect off angle, but it still should be enough for my teammates to be able to react off me. And here I knew I have timing, so I was able to get those beautiful kills and finish the round. Okay, so this round, as you can see, I'm upping on Chamber. I was thinking they're gonna try going mid, but then seeing that they have a KO ult and they're not interested in mid, I assume they're gonna go B. So here I position myself to be able to get some picks before they actually take side. I was able to get one and I quickly repositioned to the right side to surprise the enemies. And right here, because there was a smoke, I decided to play it slow. I'll still have a pretty good angle to work with. I got another one here. I'm waiting for my teammates to do something, so I'm not basically in a position where if I peek, I'm not refraggable. And here, this was just more of like a pop-off round where we actually hit every single shot with the up. And right here, just to finish the job, I'm gonna make sure that the spike is diffused. So this is a Sova clip on a bonus round. So right here I was just looking at the map trying to analyze what is happening, and because there were some mid fights happening, I arrowed hoping that my Astra or Raze are gonna benefit from it, but in the meanwhile Astra died and Raze died. And right here I'm completely not sure why Gecko was alone with the spike, but I decided to drone because I was thinking, okay, if there is a spike he's most likely not alone. But then if nobody peeked my drone, I knew that we just simply have the spike and he made a mistake. So at this point I have to be aggressive because it's a 2v4 and I need to look for more. And don't ask me how the enemy Sova didn't kill me right here, but we were able to get 2 more. And at this point I was feeling confident, so I got yet another one from Heaven. And here I'm basically thinking that she's either A main or Heaven. And right here I'm waiting for my arrow to make sure to identify if she's A main or not. And she's made noise, so right here I call to my teammate, just peek on my contact. And the round is basically over. It's a shame I didn't get the ace, but the round was clean. This round is just like a standard A round in which I'm trying to get some info and hopefully not die on A. Since I was playing alone, I didn't want to challenge long and just give up the entire side. And here, this became a 5v3 relatively quickly because of my teammates being really aggressive in middle. Right here, I'm just trying to basically get some sort of information if they're still heading towards A, if they're actually going to regroup and go C. And I was able to find Breach right here outside of the A lobby, and at this point I knew that they're both mid, but since I believe we have the spike, I was just simply holding this off angle and I was telling my Sage to just play off me. And we finish up the round. Okay, so once again we're defending A. This time I have Jet with me, so right here I arrow and I wanted to drone. I probably should have broken the arrow for Jet, but I was hoping that Jet ain't gonna be spotted and I can just kinda give her the idea of what's happening. So here I was trying to help her, but as you can see we ended up actually losing a lot of HP and not gaining anything from it. So at this point I'm basically just trying to think of a way that I can actually do something. And here, luckily the Breach ult missed me and I played Trigger Discipline and somehow was able to get 3. Okay, so this round we're defending A with Raze, and because I got insta-flashed, I immediately naded to kind of not allow them to immediately rush on side and take as much space as they want. But here it turns out that the Raze ulti was actually B and A seemed like a little bit of a fake. So seeing that my teammates are completely out of position on B, I take the TP to try to get back into the round and actually get something. So a lot of the times when you're gonna TP and you know people are in hookah, what you wanna do is actually go B long, because people will always assume that you're going hookah, and this way you might be able to actually find some pretty good timing. And the key thing right here also was that Brim teleports. And when Brim TPs, their attention is purely focused on hookah. So right here I was able to, as you can see, get into a perfect position and basically win the round for my team. Okay, so we're playing aggressive on A long with Reyna. Obviously, Reyna doesn't have much to offer if it comes to defending, so you want to be kind of aggressive with her. And right here we're able to get the first kill, and since we're going to be full HP, I was trying to look for more, but because my Omen smoked me off literally both short and long, I decided that pushing short might be a little bit easier right here. And this round is a slow one because enemies actually do rotate C, but what's good about it is, as you can see, my continuous aggression allows me to find out that this is not going to be an A hit. So this way, first of all, my teammates are able to rotate C early, and I'm able obviously to have a really good timing on the flank. And thankfully Killjoy had no utility outside of A to actually spot me, and I was actually assuming that since they went back from A there's gonna be someone mid, but then I've noticed there is actually 4 people long, so I decided to straight up go for the flank. And I called to my teammates obviously to play time because I have a prime position to win this round, and we get 2 kills immediately, get the heal. And right here I look at the map and I see Sky's default, so I'm asking my Sova to come in because I'm flashing, but I saw that he was droning, so I waited for him to finish, I flash, and the round is over. So this is a round in which I lurked Dish on Chamber. We were doing an A split and pistol, so I was just kind of slowly progressing. I was here assuming that the enemies are not Dish. That's why you can see me kind of doing those walk peeks. And right here, it's a 3v4. I'm waiting for some sort of a mistake from the enemy team, because right now if I drop down, I'm probably going to be dead. So we got the first one, then I know there is one more inside, so I decide to drop and look for more. And I was here able to hit a beautiful shot on Brim. And at this point, all we have to do is be able to play off each other. So whether it's peek them together or, you know, play on each other's contact, both options are completely fine. But since we didn't know if he is not flanking, I didn't decide to go main just yet. And I asked my teammates to jiggle CD to actually find out where this guy is. So right here, I'm gonna try to make my way to cross towards main. To be able to set up that crossfire, more of a kind of contact play, I would say. So I told my Brim, play on my contact right here, and at this point, if he doesn't miss his shots, the round is over. And there we go. So this round we're defending B with Brim. I was smoking A main at the beginning of the round to take A main, but right here we notice this is most likely going to be B. So I smoke and molly B main to try to get on side so my Chamber ain't alone defending the side, but here unfortunately he died, and I was trying my best to not get spotted by the Sova arrow that you can see on side. And this round is really hectic, and now I know they're already up tower, so there is no way for me to run, I just have to fight. And I was able to get those 2 beautiful kills. Then I looked for more and actually got the third one, and we won the round. So this is just simply individual aim and decision making to not panic, not spray, and be able to switch between them using the burst and sidestep method. So this round, we're playing Phoenix on Fracture, and I was thinking of pushing Arcade this round just simply because I was assuming that the enemies are gonna go B. And flanking obviously is a pretty good idea when the enemy team doesn't have like the best trips, because right here we have Chamber Deadlock, so Deadlock obviously ain't great at holding flanks, and Chamber Trap I can even wall off as Phoenix. So here I was able to get the first one. I decided to ulti. There's no point of me just running it down without the ult, so I molly tower to be able to get in, but Jet hit a beautiful pre-fire, and at this point I need to kind of figure out what I want to do. So I noticed that the tower guy died, but there might be one more. That's why you can see me playing here slow, and this was a really awkward fight with Chamber. This was more of like a kind of dense lesson at this point, but we were able to come out on top. And here this is a beautiful play. So I wall off the spike, making him think that I'm going to try to fight for it, but I actually go all the way around, and I do it so quickly that the enemy team doesn't have time to realize that I'm no longer there. And as you can see, when Sky peeks breach, she's completely not ready for me. So I wanted to show you this round because a lot of the times when you're upping, you might die to people that are already holding the angle when you're going to try to peek it. So here there is going to be an example of that situation where I'm going to be coming back to A, and the enemy is holding at. So you will see kind of how I peek an angle that I know is being held because I heard her step in that specific position. So right here we begin the round by trying to look for an entry, so I peeked up mid, and even though I was spotted, the Sage was also spotted, so I knew that I stand a pretty good chance against her, and this right here is where I heard Jet's step in A main, and I was already assuming that she might be actually opping, so that's why you can see me here jump peeking, and you will see what happens. She basically had no reaction time, and right here I come back to middle because I got my ult, so I want to be able to utilize it, and the second that I find out where the enemy is, I'm ulting, going for the one, and even though I got refract, this round is actually pretty good. You can even see that Cyber actually got lucky and got 3, but we ended up winning this round. Interested in coaching or having a 30-minute call with me on how to get better, make sure to visit my website, perspective.gg.